The stars blazed like diamonds against the inky blackness of space as the last remnants of Gorthok's fleet limped through the void. The once mighty Orcish armada had been reduced to a handful of battered ships, their crews weary and demoralized. Captain Krog, his gruff face creased with worry lines, stood at the helm of the flagship, Marauder's Revenge. He scanned the horizon, his eyes squinting against the glare. "We're running out of options, Gorthok," he growled to the ship's AI. "Greed, Captain," the AI replied in a calm, detached tone. "Our fuel reserves are critical. We can't sustain this pace much longer." But Gorthok's thoughts were consumed by the horrors they had faced on their journey. The humans' relentless pursuit, the crippling attacks from their peacekeepers. It seemed as though the very fabric of space itself was against them. As if reading his captain's mind, Gorthok's second in command, Korak, approached him, his scared face etched with concern. "Captain, we've received a transmission from an unknown source." Krog turned to him, his grip on the helm tightening. "What does it say?" "It's difficult to decipher," Korak admitted. "But it seems to be some sort of offer." Gorthok's eyes narrowed as he studied Korak's expression. "An offer? What kind of offer could someone make to us at this point? We're barely clinging to existence." Korak shrugged. "I don't know, Captain. The transmission is garbled and unclear. But the AI thinks it might be worth investigating further." The captain snorted. "The AI's always been a skeptic, hasn't it? What's our situation like?" "We're down to our last quarter of fuel, Captain," Krog said grimly. "And even if we manage to scrounge up some more, we'll never make it back to the homeworld in time." Gorthok's gaze dropped to the starboard viewport, his mind racing with the implications. They were running out of options fast. The humans had pushed them to the brink, and it seemed like no one was willing to give them a break. "What's the transmission saying now?" he asked Korak, his voice heavy with resignation. Korak consulted the comm screen on his wrist. Mounted display. It's repeating something about assistance and rebuilding. "Bok!" Gorthok's eyes snapped back up to meet Korak's. "Rebuilding what?" "Our fleet. Our lives." Korak hesitated before answering. "I think it might be referring to the entire Orcish society, Captain. The transmission is saying something about a way to restore our people's honor and prestige." "Oh." Gorthok snorted again, this time with more contempt. "Honor and prestige? You think I care about those things right now? We're trying to survive." But Korak's expression remained serious. "Captain, I think you should hear them out. We can't just keep running and hiding. We need a new plan." Gorthok's gaze lingered on the stars outside before he finally nodded. "All right, Korak. Patch me through to this mysterious stranger. Maybe they're willing to listen to our pleas for help." Gorthok's eyes narrowed as he considered the possibilities. An unknown source making an offer. It could be a trap, or a desperate attempt by the humans to turn them against each other. "What kind of offer?" he asked Korak, his voice low and cautious. Korak hesitated before responding. "It's strange, Captain. The message speaks of a meeting between you and someone who claims to have information that can help us defeat the humans." Gorthok snorted, skeptical. "Who is this mystery person? What do they want in return?" "Those details are unclear," Korak admitted. "But the transmission was encrypted, Captain. Whoever sent it knew we'd be desperate enough to listen." A Krog's grip on the helm relaxed slightly as he weighed his options. They were running out of time. And if this offer could provide even a glimmer of hope. "Prepare the Marauder's revenge for an intercept," he told Korak. We'll take a closer look at this message." As the ship altered its course, Gorthok called out to the AI. "Can you crack the encryption on that transmission?" "I'm working on it, Captain." The AI replied promptly. The stars continued their relentless march across the horizon as the Marauder's revenge plunged deeper into the unknown. What did they find? "Why have the decryption protocols, Captain?" the AI announced after a tense silence. Gorthok's eyes locked onto the view screen, his heart racing with anticipation. The image before him was grainy, but unmistakable, a human face, with piercing blue eyes that seemed to bore into his very soul. "Put it through," Gorthok growled, his voice low and menacing. The transmission flickered to life, a figure materializing in the view screen. A human, dressed in a tattered suit, with an air of desperation clinging to him like a shroud. "Gorthok, Captain Krog," he began, his voice shaking. "I'm here to help you." Gorthok's laughter was cold and mirthless. "What could a human possibly do to help me?" The stranger's eyes darted nervously around the screen before returning to Gorthok's face. "You're not going to believe me," he whispered. "But I have information that can turn the tide of this war against the humans." A Gorthok raised an eyebrow, his curiosity piqued despite himself. "What kind of information?" he asked, his tone laced with skepticism. The stranger hesitated before speaking, as if afraid of what Gorthok might do to him. "I have access to their plans, Captain. I can show you where they're hiding their most powerful warships, and how to destroy them." Gorthok's eyes narrowed, weighing the stranger's words. This could be a trap, but it was also their last chance to turn things around. "What do you want in return?" he asked, his voice cold and calculating. The stranger swallowed hard before responding. "I want sanctuary, for me and my family." A Gorthok's face twisted in a snarl. "You think I care about your petty human problems?" But the stranger didn't back down. "Captain, you don't have much to lose anymore. But with this information, you can still salvage something. Just, please, let us live. Gorthok's eyes narrowed as he studied Karak's face. What kind of offer could possibly come from an unknown source? He turned back to the horizon, his mind racing with worst-case scenarios. Play it, he growled, his voice low and even. The AI complied, and a holographic display flickered to life before them. The image resolved into a human, or, at least, what looked like a human. Gorthok's gut twisted in revulsion as the being began to speak in perfect Orcish. Greetings, Captain Gorthok. I am Ambassador Zara of the Galactic Union. We have been watching your plight with great interest. Gorthok snarled, his hackles raised. What do you want? Ambassador Zara's expression remained calm and collected. We are willing to offer assistance in exchange for a favor. Krog's grip on the helm tightened further. What kind of favor? Zara's smile was like ice. A small compromise, really. We require access to your technology, specifically the psionic shields you've developed during your travels. Gorthok's eyes locked onto Zara's. He knew exactly what she was after, a way to counter the humans' own mental defense systems. What do I get in return? He demanded, his voice like a challenge. Zara's smile grew wider. We will provide you with the fuel and resources you need to continue your fight against the humans. And we will help you uncover the truth behind their relentless pursuit. Gorthok's thoughts were a maelstrom of anger and desperation. He knew that Zara was playing him, but he also knew that she might be his only hope. What do you say, Captain? Krog asked, his voice low and urgent. Gorthok took a deep breath, his mind racing with the implications. I accept, he growled, his voice like thunder. But if this is some kind of trap, I will not hesitate to destroy your precious union, Bach. Zara's smile never wavered. I would expect nothing less from a proud warrior, such as yourself, Captain Gorthok. As the transmission ended, Gorthok turned to Krog and Karak. It seems we have a new ally and a new enemy. The stars blazed on, a reminder that the war was far from over. But for now, the space orcs had a glimmer of hope and a chance to turn the tide in their favor. As they set course for their next destination, Gorthok couldn't shake the feeling that Zara's offer came with strings attached, and he knew that he would have to tread carefully if he wanted to survive this desperate game of cat and mouse. The fate of the space orcs hung in the balance as the galaxy held its breath for what was to come